Haslet's a very cool part of DFW. If you haven't heard of Alliance, it's like its own world. It's like its own community. Mari, how would you describe Alliance Town Center specifically? Because there's more to Alliance than just that town center, but how would you describe that?
I'd just say it has everything you need and it's constantly growing.
Yeah, it's like tons of awesome restaurants, lots of great retail, groceries, like the stuff you need, the stuff you want, stuff you never heard of before. Like it's very robust retail area surrounded by a lot of business. Right? Like industrial, shipping, manufacturing, airport stuff. This is a region of DFW that has had tremendous investment from major development, major corporations like Amazon doing big time development and things. So Haslet has a lot more to it than just retail and industrial, but those are some of the things that come to mind when people think about Haslet, Texas. It's a popular place to live, but because of so much of the commercial development and commercial activity, that's what I think a lot of people associate with Haslet more than neighborhoods and things like that. I would tell people it's over by Southlake, right? So I live on the Dallas side, although I know that side fairly well. How would you describe Haslet to folks as far as a resident that's thinking about buying a home there?
Well, so with the proximity to Alliance is it's close to Alliance, but it's not in Alliance, right. Which means you can it is more neighborhoods and it is more newer built. A lot of communities, new build communities are there, but you can still get a little bit of land. Yeah,
I would say, tell me if I'm wrong, you can get a little bit more house for your budget than other parts of Fort Worth or Dallas. Sure. Certainly a little more than like Southlake itself.
Oh yes.
Or similar areas. Now, I would think of it as what I call like a neighborhood community, a bedroom community. Most of it is actually houses because it's surrounded by so much of this commercial development and retail and stuff like that. So Haslet, if I'm thinking of a house in Haslet, what's my general price range there? Like what's available to me?
Well, obviously depending on size, but I would say 400 to 450.
Yeah, that's kind of, I would say the entry level, you could probably find some houses that are a little bit below that, but not a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's not a ton of property below 400K in Haslet anymore. And you could find some very nice multi-million-dollar homes there as well. So there's the whole spectrum. But that entry point for most of what's selling in Haslet right now is high threes, low fours, mid fours. Yes. And there's a lot of property in the 4, 5, 6, 7s, right? And then you can certainly go up from there. Northwest Independent School District. And from what I know about it, people tend to feel pretty good about that school district, right? They like moving there to be in those schools. There, you mentioned you can get a little bit more land. There's more like acreage property in Haslet than there is in some of those other surrounding areas. Is a little further out. And so in my mind, you're west of Southlake, north of Fort Worth, maybe Hare Northeast. Does that sound right?
I would say Hare Northwest.
Okay, Hare Northwest. Yeah, I've been there many times. I'm picturing it on the map, but I'm going to my guru to be clear.
Well, northwest, like north of Saginaw.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so I'm thinking lots of like half acre and 1 acre properties, but I know there's a good number of 2, 3, 4, 5 acre properties as well, right?
A handful, yeah. And I think because it's being seen as, we want to move there, I can afford more house for my money, then we're getting the master plan communities in there as well. Right.
There's less of the larger lot acreage because it's being divided and being developed. And so there's some beautiful homes out there. A lot of that is in the last 20, 25 years, right? Massive, recent, fast growth.
Yes.
Right. And that's true for the houses and a lot of the retail, right? There's a lot of new, clean, nice restaurants and drive-thrus and stuff like that, right? So you kind of have it all in that Haslet area. What are some other things that buyers or sellers talk about when they want to move to Haslet or they're considering Haslet? What do you think?
I think because it's just past the outskirts of Fort Worth, you can still have an easy commute if you're getting into Fort Worth. But it gives you, you're not in the hustle and bustle of everything.
Yeah. From my perspective, when someone says, hey, I'm moving to Fort Worth, Haslet is not one of the communities that's at the very top of their mind. But once they start surveying the area, people are like, oh, Haslet's something we should go look at. Yeah. It's kind of like, I think of Keller somewhat similarly. Like people from other parts of the country aren't like, oh, we're moving to Keller. They move to Fort Worth, and then when they start shopping around, they're like, oh, Keller's pretty great. I think of Haslet that way. Like people, I don't hear much negative about Haslet ever. but it's one of those suburb type communities that's really blown up recently, hasn't necessarily like blown up on the national stage, but in the realm of living on the Fort Worth side of things is a great place to live. Lots of activities, lots of outdoor stuff to do, so close to so many really nice surrounding communities that in almost any direction you go, there's great stuff to do, great places to go, entertainment, food, parks and rec, all that kind of stuff. So Haslet, Texas, folks, if you're from the DFW area and you're not as familiar with it, might be something you consider next time you make a move or next time you're out and about and exploring. If you're catching maybe the podcast or you're not local and you're thinking about a move here, it's a community on the Fort Worth side of things that you really ought to take a look at. And I think you would really, really appreciate.